in the room, the Grenada Empowerment Movement leader, advocate, Earl Maitland. Earl, how are we doing?
Fine, Ingram. Thank you for having me and the fellow Grenadians once again.
So we have a distressing situation with fellow Grenadians being stranded in different parts of the world, and we are really honoured to have them in the room with us this evening. So your thoughts on it first before we go on, Earl.
Yeah, so we have been left in different parts of the world due to the pandemic that we now face, right? And we have in the room with us persons from Jamaica, England, America, Canada, different parts of the world, you know, and we have been blessed enough to be able to utilize the Facebook platform to come together and stand with each other, you know, offer some sort of comfort to each other. Because as we do know, being away from home and our loved ones, it's extremely hard, right? And it has been a pleasure meeting each and every one of them.
Okay, so we have several people in the room. I think we'll start in the left-hand side. I think we've got Sophia Phillip. Sophia, how are you doing this evening?
Hi, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, and welcome to the show. So tell us,
Thank you.
what part of the world are you at the moment?
I'm in the UK. I'm in England right now.
Okay, so how long have you been in the UK?
I have been here since February 24, but I've been on the move since January 24.
So your original plan was to come into the UK when?
Actually, I'm a student in China.
Ooh, okay.
And yes, I left for a 2-week vacation to Indonesia.
Wow.
And the day before my flight was supposed to leave, my school contacted me and told me I was not allowed to come back to China because of the virus. And at that time, I wasn't so aware of the seriousness of the situation. So I stayed there for an additional 2 weeks, hoping that everything would calm down and I'll be able to go back to school because it's my graduating year and this was supposed to be my last term. But after 2 weeks, the school told me, no, I still can't come back. And Grenada was so far from Indonesia. So I had to look for a place to settle down and wait it out. And I came here and I'm still here.
Wow, so how have you coped with it all?
Physically, it's all right, but mentally, it's very taxing because I haven't been home for 5 years. I left Grenada in 2015 to embark on my studies in China. And I was really looking forward to going home this year because in all those years, I said to my mom, I'm not coming home. I want to explore the world. And this year was the year I was supposed to feel my mom's arms around me, and they're not here. So emotionally, it's very draining.
What about financially? How have you coped with it financially? Because obviously you have to self-support, right?
Well, financially, that's another thing because I got a scholarship. So every month while I was in China, I received a stipend from the government. But from March, I was told by the school that because I'm outside of China, they won't be able to give me money anymore. It's not just me, it's all students outside of China because what they're really saying is that the students who are out of China should be able to rely on their families. And I was like, but at that time when they told me that was going to happen, I said, well, I'm in Indonesia and I don't really have family. So I had to like rush to the UK. I have a sister here. And financially, I'm not in need. But being on my own for 5 years and being self-sufficient, it's a bit, uncomfortable.
So if the government are watching this video, or this video that's been recorded now, what would be your message to the Grenadian government?
I would say to you that I left home to better myself so that I can come home to serve. Please give me the opportunity to do so.
Sophia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So next in the room, next to Sophia. Good evening, ma'am. Your name, please? She's muted, I think. Good evening, ma'am. If you could unmute yourself.
Yeah, so Sophia, just call the names for us, please. Sophia knows the names better than we do.
Her name is just iPhone.
Okay.
Tanisha, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm obviously concerned about yourself and you being stranded. So, what part of the world are you in then?
I'm in the UK.
Okay. Okay. Tell us your story.
Okay. I came in London in September the 13th. I came on a vacation visit, and due to the which I supposed to get back home in March, and due to the pandemic, I got stuck here. So I have a ticket to go home, but the ticket I have to go home is Virgin, and Virgin is not flying, so we just have a ticket in our hand. So we keep calling Virgin and we're not getting through with the airlines. So I just want to get home to my kids, to my family.
Yeah.
And also I am, I didn't want to say it, but I'm a diabetic patient and I need to get home because I have to, we have to pay for certain medication here, such as our strips, the glucose for the machine, because they want you to do the testing 3 times a day to monitor the sugar level.
Yes.
So you have to pay for the strips like when you finish, you have to pay like £20 for the small bottle. So, and if you go to see sick medical here, they asking you, can we need to bill you. So, and you don't have a stable place living, that's the next problem again. So I spoke to somebody in WLC, Welcome Center, and she told me there's no help for Grenadians that's stranded here. So if we are British citizens, they will help us, but because we are not British citizens, there's nothing they could do. So she said to me, when I go back to Grenada, hopefully try to pay, call back and said, look, you guys been billing me for medication, so I'm trying to pay back the money.
Wow.
So it's been, yes. So it's right now, it's like we live in, how should I say it? Hand to mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like whatever money we have, I use it up. And then I have my kids back home, so I cannot be calling back home for help for money every time. So I just have to, So the lady we're living with now, she said the only thing she could offer is a plate of food. That's it.
Well, thank you to that lady who's taking you in, and there's obviously, so thank you to you so much. The second thing is, I mean, you're diabetic, so obviously you've got concerns there about your life, your lifestyle, and your welfare. So that's a concern.
Yeah.
My concern here as well is that you're part of the Commonwealth, right? Grenada is part of the Commonwealth the last time I checked. So I would have thought,
yes, we do.
Yeah, so even is there anything you can go via the Commonwealth, certain things? Because obviously being a Grenadian, you're part of the Commonwealth. Is that something you can use as a resource, being part of the Commonwealth? Do you know?
Well, we did, when we went to Queen Elizabeth, I said it to the doctor. I said, okay, we're under the British laws. And she said she don't know, she's not aware of that. So I did say to Ezra, also the young lady in the WEC, the Welcome Center, and she said, although we're under the British wealth, it's still they're not sure. That means they're not aware. They're not sure what help we could get or what help they could give us, although we're under the British wealth. And then we call the commission, the High Commission. Well, it's better you just keep the phone, you just cut off your phone, because we called for help, Mr. Sandy, and not knowing Mr. Sandy is not the High Commission. And then he's speaking to me as if he in charge of the office. And then when I spoke to the minister back home, the minister said to me, get in contact with Miss Grant. Is Miss Grant in charge? I called yesterday and the lady was upset. I mean, I didn't give no attitude. I just said, hello, good afternoon. Can I speak to Miss Grant, please? And she said to me, no, Miss Grant is not in office. Can you leave a message? I said, no, I will call back. And she said, no, don't call back tomorrow, please. That she's going to be in office till Friday, please, the Lord. So she said, is there anything you want to leave a message? I said, no, thank you very much. Have a good day. And I just cut off my phone. So it's like, spinning top in mud. We just want, all we want is just to hear us out. We want to get home. Our children miss us. We have family back home. We just want to get home. That's all. I want to get home. I see enough trouble here. I want to get home.
So sorry to hear your story. If you've got a message to the government, the Grenadian government now, and the Prime Minister of Grenada, the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, what would you say to Dr. Keith Mitchell at this point in time?
Well, I could say to the Prime Minister, please get us home. Get your national citizens home, because there is no place better than home. We're not getting the treatment we are getting here. So please try your best to get us home. Get us a flight to get home. It's too much. It's too much. It's frustrating. It could lead to anything. Some people don't have money for food. Some people can't even buy water. Some people can. Plenty of Grenadians cannot buy certain things right now because it's very hard. So please, I'm begging, I'm appealing, please take us serious. We want to get home. We don't mind the cost. We want to get home. Thank you.
The other thing I've heard is that Grenadians have been frustrated with their airlines, calling the airlines, not just in Grenada, but abroad, calling the airlines and not getting any responses, not getting the response they want. The customer service has been at sometimes pretty appalling. What's been your experience of it?
Well, I call Virgin, and Virgin said to me, somebody hacked into the account. So there is no guarantee that we could get any flight before or until August. And then when we call back again, another story. So we asked for a refund, and they said they cannot refund us back our money, but they're going to try to see what they could do.
Wow.
So the response is very poor. It's poor. It's not good. How it looking is not nice.
I'm so sorry to hear of your situation, and I hope and pray very soon that there is change and that those that are stranded are repatriated and back to their island as quick as possible. Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your honesty. Appreciate you.
Ingram.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On this matter, on these matters that have been mentioned by the two ladies.
Could you repeat?
Your thoughts on the two ladies that they're just two.
Okay. So my thoughts are that I would hope to see much more being done. Besides these two lovely young ladies that we have here, there are many more. As I said, we have started a Facebook group, and that group consists of persons from various countries, and I'll just like to say exactly where the persons are so people would have a better understanding. We have persons in the USA, in states such as Virginia, Texas, New York, Florida. We have persons from Canada, Jamaica, Martinique, the Bahamas, and of course the UK, right? And we would really like to get some information as to when things would actually happen. There has been a lot of contradictory in the way that information has been put out. For instance, the borders were said to be opening in the first week of June. Then that changed to July 1st. And this has put an extraordinary cost, right? A financial burden on the persons who are outside. I am sure that the persons who are home that would be looking on when the show is aired, they can certainly understand what it is to pay a change fee for a flight, right? And these fees are actually still applicable at this time. This takes out a significant portion of the monies that persons would have had on their short vacation trips, or even in Sophia's case, where she was actually just merely studying, trying to better herself, further herself in education. And there's also the fact that some persons actually are in countries that require visas. And in these countries, extensions would be required. In some cases, the persons would have to pay up to 500 US just for an extension. Right now, 500 US is actually 1,300 EC dollars. And it's a lot of costs, you know, it is a lot of costs. We have costs such as accommodation, we have food, we have transportation to get to and from where. We have the medical fees. In the case of my good friend here who is diabetic, there is someone else who's actually not of the virus, right, but has a sickness that we could all we could relate to. You know, we all had a family member or a close friend who had cancer, right, at some point. So there are persons who would just like nothing more than to return home. I know that persons home might be a bit skeptical, thinking that, you know, persons coming in from away, they may have the coronavirus. And what I would like to say to them is that, you know, we are all Grenadians, and the border must open at some point. We will remain safe in Grenada once the right protocols are established and followed. Persons will not just be departing the aircraft and just entering the state and be free to roam. They will actually be tested and put in quarantine facilities, and this is all we're asking for on behalf of everyone that's on the group chat. As far as we know, there is no one in the group with, I believe we have approximately about over 50 persons, right, in the Facebook group chat. There's also a WhatsApp group chat that is only dealing with flights from JFK, right? So we do understand that the government cannot do everything, right? So persons have been using their individual strengths to try to make it easier for the government, and hence the reason why we have made contact with the Grenadian government. On a few occasions, we actually emailed Dr. George Mitchell. He has responded since then in a timely manner, you know, very speedily, and I'm impressed by that. And he has responded that he would get back to us as soon as possible. He would pass on the information to the COVID team and the relevant authorities. In my dealings with Dr. Mitchell, Dr. George Mitchell, he has been a man of his word, and I do expect him to stand by his word. You know, there are persons who are dependent on him, and I am sure that he appreciates the gravity of the situation. We have also contacted Dr. Francis Martin via email. We have most recently, however, contacted Senator Judd Cadet, and we have also contacted former Senator Ron Redhead. And this is the type of Grenada that, you know, we welcome at all costs. You know, these are persons of different groupings of different groupings who are actually working together to ensure that the citizens are actually being taken care of. Of course, is a lot of as it relates to the information that is passed on from the embassies. I that this could be sooner than later. We have presented some recommendations to Senator Judd Cadet, and he has assured us that he understands the situation and the government understands the situation, and they will be engaging the relevant authorities. Most likely that would include the Prime Minister of Grenada, and he would inform him of the predicaments that we now face as Grenadian citizens who have been stranded in various countries. In some instances, today, what we are actually seeing here today is possibly the better of the worst situations. We do have some persons who have been unable to come on to this program now because they have gotten emotional just thinking about the situations that they are in. We do have a good friend here, Sophia. She has said, although her finances do permit her to do a little better than others, there's still the fact that the mental adjustments have to be made. Being in such a situation is not something that comes natural to someone. This is the first time that we have had to be on quarantines and facing lockdowns or even stuck in someone else's country. The thing is, though, we are really dependent on the Grenadian government to act accordingly, And as I said earlier, sooner than later, there are many persons who are dependent on them. Some are unable to come and share their voice because of how emotionally distraught they are at this time. I'm sure that persons could really understand the situations, and we should extend that patriotic value of being a Grenadian, right? The understanding, the commitment to fellow brother and sister and all of that, and champion the causes of our people. As I said, due to the financial obligations of persons, we even have some young ladies who have their children with them. In one instance, there is a young lady who has a 3-month-old child, right? And it is frustrating. It is, it's not the best situation to be in. And we have welcomed many persons since the lockdown has started. And, we do expect that, sooner than later, the government would have secured their position on the relevant protocols to be followed to repatriate our citizens from around the world. We have also looked into securing airlines ourselves, just in case the government is not in a position to do so. We have looked into securing airlines. Unfortunately, however, being just mere citizens, we would have faced many obstacles in making contact with individuals. And we do believe, I personally do believe, that our Minister of Civil Aviation should have the contacts for airlines that would have normally come to Grenada, and we would like to see that those contacts are being used, and the citizens abroad will be afforded the opportunity to return if the government is unable to foot the bills of individuals who no longer have the cash. We as a group have started a GoFundMe page on Facebook. It's right there. I want to take this time to invite persons to support those who may not have the finances, because obviously there would be cost. There are many persons who are prepared to go to the medical facilities, get tested, submit the results to the Grenadian government just to ensure, or even to offer some comfort to our brothers and sisters at home. So they would know that we are, the only thing we're bringing back to Grenada is our love for the country and our patriotism, right? We are hopeful. We are very hopeful. Senator Judd Cadet has said to us that he is going to organize and ensure that our best interest is looked after. Ron Redhead, former Senator Ron Redhead, Dr. George Mitchell, everyone is trying. We do look forward to them keeping that level of dedication to the cause. We also want to encourage persons, to understand our struggle, be a little more empathetic when it comes to our struggle. We have the young lady here, she's a mother, right? She has children, and we should always put ourselves in the shoes of others and ask the question, how would I feel if it was my mother that was stuck in England? How would I feel if it was my brother stuck in Jamaica? As it relates to the responses, from the persons at the embassies, we have personally informed the relevant authorities of the responses that we got. It was not welcoming at all. And as I said, we do hope that would change. Today, after speaking to former Senator Ron Redhead, we were informed that New York, America, the Grenadian embassy there was able to start, I believe, something of the sort of a hotline for our citizens, and they invited them to call in. In the past, prior to that engagement that we had with the persons that I just mentioned, the responses from the embassy, I can say nothing more than it was nothing more than uncouth, unprofessional, and unofficial. And I personally would like to see that change. I am hopeful that it would change. I am hopeful that our struggles would be understood. Be mindful that these two young ladies that are here, they are very courageous to be here, to share their story. This is not something easy to do, to actually come out in the open and say, this is the situation I'm in, because many times we have persons who will actually almost crucify, right? In a sense, crucify persons who are asking for something to be done. And I do hope that our Grenadian people home will champion this cause to ensure that our people do reach home safely and in a timely manner, especially knowing that persons are in need of medication, persons are in need of food, some persons are in need of shelter. I would like to see that these things are offered at the Grenadian consulates and embassies by the persons who have been placed in these foreign countries to secure the rights of Grenadian citizens. I must admit, however, that on finding out that the embassy at the UK has been closed until Friday, especially given the circumstances of we having a majority of our citizens in the UK, I am a bit disturbed by that. I'm a bit disturbed by that. But all in all, Ingram, we have a lot of faith in the Lord. It is a pleasure to meet Sophia. It is a pleasure to meet my good friend, who is right there with with the straw hat, you know, hanging on there. Still getting familiar with the names. They are still getting familiar with my name. We made our something spectacular out of this bad, you know, and this is what we need. Yes.
Thank you all. Ladies, I just want to say Sophia and the other lady as well, both of you have been fantastic ambassadors for Grenada. You should deserve a round of applause, the pair of you, for being so brave and so honorable and just having the courage to talk about your journey and your struggles. And it takes everybody, a lot of people can talk and say they're going to do this and do that, but you two stood the test of time and you've come out and you've spoken on behalf of many Grenadians, and you've probably given them strength as well. So thank you to both of you so much. There are people probably in Grenada will be watching this and around the world that will know you two ladies for standing up and speaking out. And I hope that more people will come forward and speak about this situation, because together, and only together, with a united mindset of togetherness, we'll get through this. Not just with the corona, not with just the virus, but as a people we'll get together only by unifying and being united. So thank you both so very much. Earl, as always, thank you so much for your support. And this is us at BWTM Online. If there's any way you can help, not just these two ladies here, but anybody where you can help, please let us know. Send us an email, info@bwtmonline.com. That'll be in the description box, of course, as always. Once again, thank you very much, Earl Maitland. Any help you can give is grateful. We are grateful to all. Thank you again. This is BWTM Online. With preparations, we're out. Take care.